Hi there, this is Theo. In this video, I'm gonna review what I did today. Today I worked on a design on the design photobook design project in memoriam Umtehun 1984 to 2017, and I screen recorded on my laptop. So I hope that I'll have some insights by reviewing what I did, and I also hope that insights will helpful for you to work on your photo book design project. So this is a screen record I made yesterday. And yesterday I started working on a new chapter in this photobook project. What I did yesterday was basically organize the photos. So so this is a collection set in Lightroom that I made, titled In Memoriam, and you can see there are multiple collections under sub-collections under this collection set. So I organized the photos. This is not the first time I organized the photos, but somehow I have to keep organizing the photos in many ways. Sometimes I am distracted by while organizing the photos, because some photos remind me of my old days, and I cannot help but getting distracted, and I think in a way that's a part of process, because it's not like solving a math problem. So in a way, I think it's important that your conscious flows in a natural way. So that's why I let myself do what I want to do, as long as I play with those photos. So yesterday I spent more than 3 hours only organizing those photos. I couldn't start working on. I mean, I couldn't start designing the book, but just what I did yesterday was just looking at the photos and organizing the photos when it needed it. And this is a screen record I made today. And starting from today, I studied organizing the photos in a more specific way. Like, so for example, while I was looking at the photos of him, one thing I found out is that he wears a uniform. He wears a kindergarten uniform, which is not very typical in a Western society. So, and I think that the photos of him wearing a uniform of kindergarten tells us something. So I started collecting the photos that that he wears kindergarten uniform in. And again, while looking at the photos, I was sometimes just distracted by the photos. For now, I'm working on kindergarten part. So I made sub collections starting and I named the sub collections starting with 007. And even in the 007 collection, there are sub collections like birthday taekwondo uniform with my parents. So I collected related photos, and I put them in a sub collection so that I can come up with some ideas with that. So if you see this part, you can notice that sub collections are made. And I sort of wasted time trying to find a material. I think I shouldn't do that. So once I started working on this project, one of the wasteful way of spending time is to find a specific material. That's not very. I don't think that's very sufficient way. I think I wasted some time trying to find unnecessary material for now. I think that's one of mistakes. The common mistakes I make while working on a design project. So I think you should start with the material you have right now, rather than spend some time trying to find a specific material. And finally, I exported some photos so that I work with so that I could work with those photos in design. And I made blank pages. I use InDesign program like a sketchbook. What I usually do is, I'm going to show you how I work in InDesign. I put selected photos in Lightroom. I dropped the photos first, like this, and I started arrange the photos in this application. And I collected the photos of him wearing a kindergarten uniform, because like I mentioned, I think wearing a uniform tells something. It can be kind of metaphor. Like finally, he studied belong to an organization for the first time in his life. And I played with those photos, like by enlarging certain photos and change the layout one of the things that I did today is to match different photos. In this project, I wanted to show more than one photo, or two photos at the same time, so that the readers can have an impression by looking at multiple photos at the same time, rather than looking at single photo at a time. And once I thought some photos look good together, then I started working on a layout. And when I work on a layout, I think thinking about considering the white space really matters, because the white space creates relationship between the photos, and it's not very easy for me now. Maybe I'm not very experienced on that kind of task yet. Another task I did was to think about the size of book. I'm gonna talk about this topic later if I have a chance. Yesterday and today, what I did was very initial phase, and because I just started working on a new chapter. What I did was, as you saw, basically I collected some photos, and I looked at those photos until some ideas came up. And one of the ideas I came up was that show the photos of him wearing a uniform. And I worked on, I tried to find some photos that look together at the same time, and I worked on layout, considering the white space between photos. These are what I did yesterday and today, and looking back, I regret spending some time to find a specific material. I should have skipped that material, and maybe I could have made a note so that I can remember. I should find the material, but because I started working on the design task, I think I should have more focused on the design itself. So today I reviewed what I had done yesterday and today. I don't know how this video is helpful for you, but anyway, thank you for watching this video, and I hope to see you next time.